The African music industry, I think that it's one of the oldest music industries in the world. Oldest arts industry in the world, because as far back as you can think of, Africa did music. We did music in a very organized manner, when some parts of the world that are on top now, didn't even exist. So for me, it's a very, it's the oldest industry in the world, one of the biggest industry in the world. They say it's the fastest rising industry in the world, but it's existed there forever. So for me, it's just an acknowledgement that yes, this is one of the biggest industries in the world, and I'm proud to be part of that industry.
So knowing the kind of music you do, how far do you think the kind of music you do can take you in this music industry?
Very far, very far. When you look at African music right now, is being imported. Different genres of African music right now is being imported a lot abroad. Jazz was imported by slavery and it's become a world sensation. Blues was imported by slavery, and now there's a huge immigration system. There's a huge movement of Africans from Africa abroad, and that is is exporting a lot of African music. So doing African music, I mean, you can hit the world stage at any time. So you take me far. I'm looking furthest, when it comes to that.
Okay, so being a musician, has music referred to you? Like, can you outline some has the industry referred to you? Like, have you been able to make it like your expectation in music? Has music an industry as a whole referred to you?
The way I look at the industry, for me, I look at the industry as individuals. I look at the industry as individuals, and getting up in the industry is getting one individual or the next to become a part of your family, and so far the industry has been fair. I mean, I just do music that I love, that I think that with my experience I can share out there, and somebody who has gone through the same experience can be touched, and that's my focus. So I'm not looking at, when I sit to write a song, I'm not sitting to write a song thinking that I want 10 million people to listen to this song. I'm just writing the song to express maybe most of the time something I've gone through, and that can reach out to one person out there. And I accomplish that a lot, and for me that's the biggest part of the industry. That's the biggest part. Those individuals that's patronized, that's the biggest part. So most of the times I just tell people that do what you do, no matter what it is, and focus on what you do best. There is a market for everything. Even if you decide to sell stones today, you have a market for it.
So apart from the Ujasuma Africa projects, do you have any upcoming event, show, or whatever?
We, of course. So on the 6th of next month, 6th, 7th of next month, we'll be having a virtual concert with the Joy Studio. It's going to be online, published on their online TV, and it's also going to be shown on EBN TV. And a part of that, we have other virtual concerts coming on. We're going to release the dates, and then we have song release dates, video releases coming on. So, but a part of that, we're just focusing now towards the festival and the album launch.
Okay, so quite apart from that, if you have the chance to collaborate with any musician, both abroad and locally, who do you think you would love to do music with?
In Ghana, I'll start from where home is right now. In Ghana, I'm actually looking for Nana Anamoa of Wolome. You know, I love their song KK Mingbo, and I'd like to, you know, work on the song with her again. You know, so that's the first collaboration I'm looking at right now in Ghana. From Cameroon or internationally, I love Richard Bona. You know, Richard Bona is a bassist and an amazing musician. He's like a grandfather to us all. If I have the opportunity, I will. Otherwise, I would love to collaborate with a lady from Mali called Fatoumata Diawara. You know, apart of that, there are others, you know, but I can't name.
So, why do you choose to go purely African? Aside all your exposure, but the way you've talked about yourself, you have a lot of exposure. So, why do you decide to go purely African?
First of all, because I am an African without any complex. You know, I'm proud to be an African, and I think that I'm very rich being an African, and so I decided to just express the richness of where I'm coming from to the world. You know, which some way somehow, you know, goes against some of the narrative that exists on the planet or on the social media or somewhere right now. But I just thought that we have a lot. We are very rich. I come from a place with a lot of very rich culture, very rich music, very rich personalities, and that's all I just decided to expose to the world. Nothing, you know, different. So I'm just an African who is very proud and has no complex about anything, you know, African. So I just want to show the world that this is how much we have on this side of the world.
Okay, so we know you have an album called Ujasuma Africa. Tell us about Ujasuma Africa.
Ujasuma Africa, it's not just an album, it's a whole project, you know. But the first part of the project is the album. You know, the album, it's a 9-song album that has collection of rhythms, songs that were made with rhythms from across Africa, and features a little of other languages. So, but Ujasuma, it's a word I coined. Ujasuma is a word I coined myself, you know, after reading a lot of the African socialist policies. You know, Julius Nyerere of Tanzania had the Ujamaa, and then there's Ubuntu of South Africa that was made popular by Archbishop Desmond Tutu. You know, there is Bangsuma from Cameroon, you know, so Harambe from Kenya, and there's Mahat from Egypt. So I took all of these African socialist policies, which for me, it's what is best for Africa as a continent and for Africans, you know. So I used all of them to come out with the words Ujasuma, and all of them actually mean the same thing, which is the meaning of Ujasuma. It means that together, you know, we are stronger together, we are going together, let's move on together, you know. So that's the meaning of Ujasuma. So the album is going to be released in May next year, in what is going to be the second part of the Ujasuma project, which is the Ujasuma Africa, the Ujasuma Festival. The Ujasuma Festival actually is a festival that I started, or which it was supposed to start in May last year, but because of the corona pandemic, we pushed it to May next year. But it actually just features musicians who play one African instrument or another. So its focus is on African instrumentation. So we are bringing together bands and musicians who play one African instrument or the other. You know, so that's the Ujasuma project in a bit. There is the book we are working on. There is the Ujasuma art release we are working on, but it's a very big project. You know.
So who is Obase-Aboli?
My name is Thierry Masango Obase-Aboli Namolongo. I'm a Cameroonian-born musician, singer, songwriter, and musicpreneur. I'm resident in Accra, Ghana. I choose to play the xylophone, but the difference is that I play the 22 keys xylophone double. So that's a bit about Obase-Aboli.
So what kind of music do you do? What type of music? Like, what kind of music do you do? Your type of music?
I do music. I just do the kind of music that my soul leads me to reach out to people. So, I leave it to the media to categorize what kind of music they do. I think that's their work. So, but what I get inspired to do, so I do music.
Okay, so you do music in general. What inspired you to do the kind of music? You feel like you do music in general. So what inspired you to do music? Let me put it that way.
Okay, the kind of music I do, which identifies more with the African culture, I avoid to call it African music for some reason, but the kind of music I do identifies more with the African culture. And if you ask me what inspired me or what inspires me to do the kind of music I do, I really cannot say for certain. It's just the culture I grew up in and the setting, and then the urge to just be me. There's a lot of, people who grow up in the African culture and start doing the kind of music that, you publish yourself to be something else that's other than what you grew up in. But I just choose to be me, and that's me, African.
How has the journey been like?
My journey so far as a musician, that can be a full day documentary on its own. But personally, I was born in Cameroon. I wasn't born into a family of musicians. I grew up playing football, and then I went to a school that I was lucky to go to a school that we had music as a subject. I ended up in the school becoming a music prefect. Went to university, pursued the music at the level of choirs, and then so far that's been it. And some way, somehow, even when I try to run away from music, somehow it finds me, and I find it. So it's been a very long journey, and I think that I can give you a few names to talk to who can explicitly give you who Obase-Aboli was at a particular time in my life. That will explain my journey better. Okay,
so aside music, if not music, what else do you do? Or do you do only music? What's the life of Obase-Aboli if not music?
Tomorrow Monday morning I'll be at the office, 9 o'clock. I work as marketing manager for Kente Communications. I also studied IATA. IATA is an association of airline companies, and then they certify professionals who want to work in the airline or the travel and tourism environment. So I'm a travel and tourism professional. So aside music, I work daily, and I teach piano private lessons, I teach guitar private lessons, and I do some sort of business, trading. So it's a lot in my life, and apart from the fact that I'm a singer, songwriter, composer, Aboli Music, you see, like you see on my chest, Aboli Music, it's a whole company on its own. It's like a modern day record level. I don't just work with myself, I work with other musicians as well. My fans, my family, I actually don't have fans, I just have family, and the family keeps growing, you see. And my final words is thank you, I'm just thanking everybody so far for the journey, and I'm thanking all of those who come to join the family along the way, and I just want to promise that I'll keep being me. It's been this so far because I've just been me. So I'll keep being me, I'll keep making the music that has brought us together to make us a family. Thank you very much.